Welcome, everyone, and I'm opening up the committee of the whole meeting agenda for Wednesday, August 10th, 2022. Could I have roll call, please?
8 present, 1 presiding, 3 absent.
Thank you. Let the record show that Commissioner Shea, Commissioner Fisher, and Commissioner Fortune are all excused for this evening's meeting. And now would you join us with Commissioner Sorge in the prayer and the pledge?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Fellow Commissioners, Almighty God, we implore you, look upon us and guide us this night as we make decisions which will greatly affect our community of Butte-Silver Bow. Direct our thoughts, words, and deeds so that we please you and best serve our fellow citizens. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next on the agenda is a report of the chair. I bet you all are out there hoping I do not have a report. It is hotter than blazes in here, and I am not going to have anything to say other than we'll make this quick. Section 1, bid openings, public hearings, and or presentations. Let's see, we have a public hearing. And yeah, okay, could I have proof of publication? I'm sorry. Oh, excuse me. How come that's not on here? There it is. Public comment on any item on the agenda. Is there anybody on the, would like to speak on an item on the agenda? If there's a comment for something after the agenda, okay. Trudy, you had something to say about the budget? Okay. Please give us your name and address for the record.
My name is Trudy Healy. I'm at 111 West Iron Street. And tonight I'm here to thank you for approving the release of funds to help with the demolition of long-standing condemned houses and dilapidated houses. A special thank you to John Reardon for his diligence in finding a solution to help with the tear down of these public nuisances. JP, know that I appreciate your continued support with my efforts to clean up my neighborhood. There are times when I am frustrated because I'm helpless in getting certain things accomplished. We are all aware that there are condemned houses within our neighborhoods. These houses, as we know, only serve to house drug addicts who bring crime and filth to our community. I was excited to hear that John and Danette were able to find a way to fund this current project without having to ask for any money from BSB's current budget or using taxpayer monies. I am hopeful that we can brainstorm together to find a legal, efficient, and effective way to bring down some of the blights in our community. If I can serve in any other way, I will. Thank you again, and know that I support the current budget, and I am seeing progress in my community as far as cleanup and stuff. So thank you, all of you.
Thank you, Trudy. Any other comments on any item on this evening's agenda? I don't see any further comments, so now I can move into our public hearing. This is communication number 2022-366. County Attorney Joyce, do we have proof of publication?
Madam Chair, this is a continuation of the public hearing that began last week, and there was proof of publication, and it was in order.
Okay. Thank you. I forgot about that. So this is Danette Gleason, Finance and Budget Director, requesting Council Commissioners' concurrence to schedule a public hearing for the adoption of the fiscal year 2023 final budget and establish the user rates for Metro Sewer, Stormwater System, Solid Waste Disposal and Collection, and Road Maintenance District. The public hearing will begin on August 3rd and be continued until the Council Commissioners sets a date to adopt the fiscal year 2023 budget and fix the rates and levies. Director Gleason.
Madam Chair, Council of Commissioners, just briefly, some comments. The budget is remaining at about $173 million. The tax-supported budget stayed at roughly $67 million, with 49% of that funded through tax dollars. The certified values have not changed from what I reported last week. They will be $84,487,872, so 1 mil equals $84,488. There is no property tax increase in this budget. The mills will remain at 400 mills, the same number of mills that was levied by the local government last fiscal year. There is no increase in any user fees. That includes all the enterprise funds such as the water division, landfill, metro sewer, stormwater. The SID budgets also for the county roads contains no increases. We'll be coming back to you once we get the finals for the SID resolutions related to lighting and fire hydrant. Again, those are just more pass-through calculations. I handed out tonight the resource and requirement schedule for all funds. That's this schedule, this document. The resource and requirement schedule is required to be presented to you prior to adoption of the budget, showing that all funds of the local government are in balance, and I'm reporting that they are in balance, again, with no increases. I also handed out to you an amendment sheet that later on I will ask you when you pass the budget, when we open up the special meeting, that you pass the budget as amended. The amendments for tonight, I highlighted a few of them in green on your sheet, just kind of want to point them out more for you. Again, the first amendment is adding the $225,000 that was added last week by Commissioner Reardon to the community enrichment budget. The second green highlight, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth green highlight, all of them relate to some ARPA funding actions that were taken by the ARPA committee last week. The ARPA committee is recommending to you to use $100,000 of funding for a housing study, and another $100,000 to be added to the capital improvement fund to offset the additional costs that we anticipate will be needed to cover the mother lode fire suppression system. If you recall, we received over $450,000 in funding from the state of Montana last legislative session as part of their ARPA funding and allocations to do the fire suppression system at the mother lode. After further review with the committee that was appointed internally and working with some engineers on the project, and what you've seen last week related to the opening of the fire system over at the Finland, we believe that our system will cost roughly $715,000. So the internal committee came before the ARPA committee last week and requested that we use $100,000 of ARPA funding for this project. We have done our research, actually Karen Hassler has done the research on these two projects, and the ARPA funds can be used for these two projects, so we're making those recommendations. It also includes some additional funding. $40,202 was added to the budget from the URA. Part of the presentation before us, before the ARPA committee, was to use additional URA funding to help offset these costs. So those are the ones that are highlighted in the green, and then if you turn over the page, we've also added $25,000 to the wellness budget. It's within the personnel, the HR department. This is for some employee training. It can be used for CPR training or other program training for the employees of the local government, as well as all the elected officials. And I think Chief Executive Gallagher has already added some trainings for supervisors and frontline supervisors. So we'll be paying for some of those costs with those money. The other amendments you're seeing in the budget really relate to us going through our year-end activities, and whether it's contracted services or projects, just evaluating the budgets for the carry forward money from last fiscal year in '22, or reducing budgets because of the money that was spent. I also want to point out that we did have some increases within the South Harrison Avenue URD. There's about $100,000 has been added to that budget. And then within the URA District Number 2, $800,000 was added. Those were based on receipt of their certified values. So those are the major changes that and amendments that we will later ask you to pass as part of the budget. That's all I have to report.
Thank you, Chairwoman Chawla. Director Gleason, I just don't see the housing study, $100,000 in the green. Didn't you say it's highlighted?
Yeah, so, Madam Chair, Commissioner Thatcher, if you go down to the very bottom of the sheet and go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 line items, oh, that's the mother load. I don't have it highlighted on here for you, I'm sorry. It's in the regular fund. We left it within the ARPA fund itself. We didn't do an operating transfer out to another fund. We left it in the ARPA funds and it would be under professional services for the housing study. We might have just, it's Fund 2993 or 2992, so we might have just missed adding it on your sheet, on your amendment sheet. I think we just cut it off on you.
Commissioner Thatcher.
Thank you. I just want to make sure that if the budget's approved tonight, that will still be included in the amendments then.
Yes.
Ms. Gleason.
So, Madam Shaw, Commissioner Thatcher, we will add that to the bottom and have it printed before you guys pass the budget at the special meeting.
Okay. Any other questions from council members to staff? Okay. All right.
Catch.
At
Thank
this
you.
time, we will reopen the public hearing. First, I will call for any proponents. First call for proponents. Second call for proponents. Third and final call for proponents. At this time, I'll call for any opponents. First call for opponents. Second call for opponents. Third and final call for opponents. This time I close the public hearing, and I believe at this time I can also call for a motion to close the public hearing. Commissioner Frederickson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. At this point, I'll move to close the public hearing and
Place on file.
place it on file.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to post communication number 2022-366 to close the public hearing and place it on file. Is there anything on the question? Would everyone please vote? Would anyone care to change their vote? Will the clerk please record the vote?
9 yea, 0 nay.
9 yea, 0 nay, and we will close this public hearing. All right, moving on to Section 2, Communications. Item 1 is communication number 2022-365. Jeff Riggs, Thornton Group member, requesting Council Commissioners' authorization to purchase the parking lot property owned by the City County on West Court Street for the listed DOR value of $41,306. We understand a small part of this parking lot is on property owned by Western Montana Mental Health, and that the sale would be contingent upon a separate agreement with them. I believe that land sales, this is in Land Sales Committee. I do believe they met today. I wasn't able to attend their meeting, but I'm sure that we will hear from them sometime in the near future, and we will wait their recommendation back to this board. So we'll hold it in advance. Item 2, communication number 2022-382, Dylan Pipinich, BSB Planner Director, requesting Council Commissioners' concurrence to schedule a public hearing on August 17th, 2022 for the amended plat of Lot 3, Davis on Ruth, second minor subdivision, and we will hold that until the August 17th public hearing. Item 3 is communication number 2022-384, Kristen Rosa, Tiffin Administrator, requesting Council Commissioners refer the purchase request from Dave Erickson for 3,000 square feet of Building Number 1 in Montana Connections, owned by Butte-Silver to the Tiffin Board for a recommendation. And Kristen advised us that we will just turn this back over to her, and she will come back to this body with her recommendation. Does that sound about right, Sean, that we've talked about? Okay. Commissioner Frederickson.
All right, thank you, Madam Chair. I move to place communication, concur and place communication 2022-384 on file.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to concur with communication 2022-384 and place this on file. Anything on the question? Everyone, please vote. Anyone care to change their vote? Will the clerk please record the vote?
9 yea, 0 nay.
5 yeas, 0 nay, 9 yea, 0 nay. Motion passes. Blah. Okay, item 4, communication number 2022-387. John Sullivan, Government Buildings Manager, requesting Council Commissioners' authorization to allow the request for proposals be opened at the Council's regular meeting on August 17th, 2022 regarding the Mother Lode Theater Fire Suppression System. We will hold that in advance until such meeting on the 17th. Item 5 is communication number 2022-388. John Sullivan, Government Buildings Manager, requesting Council Commissioners' authorization to allow the RFPs to be opened at the Council's regular meeting on August 17th, 22 regarding the Mother Lode Theater Annunciation System. And we will hold that in advance for that same evening, August 17th. Item 6, communication 2022-391. Mark Neary, Public Works Director, requesting Council Commissioners' concurrence to schedule a bid opening on August 24th, 2022 for the 2022 BSB Public Works Department Sidewalk Program. And then item 7, communication number, we will hold that, of course, in advance until the 24th. Item 7, communication 2022-392. Mark Neary, Public Works Director, requesting Council Commissioners' concurrence to schedule a public hearing on August 17th, 2022 regular meeting for sole sourcing the Rocker water meters through Northwest Pipe, and a resolution will be introduced after that on September 7th. We will hold that in advance till the 17th. So at this time, I would call for a public comment on any item not on tonight's agenda. Seeing none. Anything else to come before our committee of the whole meeting tonight? All right, I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. And we'll just regroup for our special meeting.
Can I be absent for this one?
Who's absent for the first one?
Abstain, it hasn't started yet.
What's that?
Abstain, hasn't started yet, sir.
No, I didn't say abstain. I said I want to be absent. I've got 15 minutes. I can walk down to the...
Just to let everyone know, we're going to hold on for a couple minutes before we start the special meeting to allow the Finance and Budget to make copies of the corrected budget amendments that were on there.
JP. I need to go home. Where's that at?
22, Jesus. I like this walk right here, drink beer, DEPT right here.
They had a great pea spot on that back balcony.
23 though? Jesus. Oh, this is. It's way too much beer. This is almost sweet.
It was on sale like a year ago for half that.
They did some.
Have they?
Yeah. Look at this little thing.
That's just a fence.
It is?
Yeah. I walk by it almost every day.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's a nice house. Yeah. A lot of the floors are still original. They were able to.
It's more equal than it really kitchen.
A kitchen. Yeah.
I think it's not shit.
You can move there, Eric, and I'll trade you spots.
Real swell.
She said she's going to watch it from home, so. Right. Do you want, so there's another
No, it's
envelope
beautiful.
within there that needs to be opened, yeah.
And it's all new. And it has a great garage and underneath it and everything. Yeah.
Oh, God, isn't
Think-
that house amazing?
It is. If you could pick that up and move it into.
I'd like to call the Butte-Silver Council of Commissioners Finance and Budget Special Meeting for Wednesday, August 10th, 2022 to order. Clerk, can we please get a roll call?
9 present, 3 absent.
9 present, 3 absent. Please note that Commissioner Shea, Commissioner Fortune, and Commissioner Fisher are all excused from tonight's meeting. We'll skip the prayer and the pledge since we already did that. We'll have a opening for any public comment on any item on the special agenda meeting tonight. Seeing none, I will call for the special meeting. J.P. Gallagher, Chief Executive, is calling for a special meeting of the Butte-Silver Council of Commissioners for Wednesday, August 10th, immediately following the Committee of the Whole in the Council Chambers, Room 312. First, we'll go to Section 1, bid openings, public hearings, and/or presentations. We have a bid opening, and County Attorney Joyce, do we have a proof of publication?
Mr. Chief Executive, this is a continuation of a bid opening from last week, and there was proof of publication, and it was in order.
Thank you, County Attorney Joyce. So we have one bid opening, communication number 2022-401, Sage Joyce, Clerk and Recorder, requesting Council Commissioners authorization to open a bid for the Finland Hotel Fire Suppression Project. Their office failed to include a proposal at the RFP opening on August 3rd, 2022 meeting, and are asking to open it at the special meeting on August 10th. And it looks like we have Chris and Rosa here to open it up for us.
So Karen is out of the office this week, so I am opening this in her place. It is from Western States Fire Protection.
Mr. Chief Executive, there is a bid bond in the amount of 10% from a licensed surety company that appears to be in order.
Thank you, County Attorney Joyce.
The bid is for $1,060,525, and it is for fire sprinkler system only, and they have acknowledged receipt of both addenda.
Okay, so that is $1,060,525, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and this is for fire suppression only, not alarm system?
Correct.
Correct. Okay. Thank you. So, Commissioner Shaw.
Mr. Chief Executive, at this time, I would move that we refer this bid back to, I assume this will go back to Karen? Okay, Karen Burns, and come back to this body with a recommendation at a later date.
We have a motion and a second to refer back to the Community Development Department. Is there anything on the question? Commissioner Sorge.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. So, Kristen, refresh my memory. The last bid, the bid we got last week was for fire suppression only, and this one, or fire detection only, and this one's for fire suppression, correct?
I believe the last week's one was also only for fire sprinkling also, so fire suppression. There have,
So we don't have any for fire detection then?
correct, for enunciation, correct.
Yeah, and I believe that bid was about 1.4 million last week.
Okay.
Thank you. Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you, Chief Executive. If anyone is interested, the bid last week was IT&M Division Incorporated in Helena, Montana. It was for $1,464,018.00. And the one from Communication Resources was no bond on it, so we couldn't open it.
That is correct. Thanks for refreshing our memory, Commissioner Anderson. Okay. All right, so we have a motion and a second. Could commissioners please vote? And would anyone like to change their vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
9 yea, 0 nay.
9 yeas, 0 nay, motion passes. Moving on to Section 2, Communications. We have communication number 2022-400, J.P. Gallagher, Chief Executive, calling for a special meeting to adopt the fiscal year 2023 Silver Bowl budget. Commissioner Shaw.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. I am honored to make a motion to adopt our fiscal year 2023 Butte-Silver Bowl budget. I want to say maybe as amended, but we just received an amendment and place this on file.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there anything on the question? And could, we'd like to have Director Gleason come up and speak to this a little bit.
Yeah. Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher and Commissioners. Just wanted to let you know that we have updated the amendment sheet. Thanks, good catch, Commissioner Thatcher. That was not on there. However, we did have it within the budget and the resource and requirement schedule, so none of that had to be updated. Not sure what we would have done if have it in one and not the other place. So everything should be in order now.
Okay. Thank you, Director Gleason. Any questions of Commissioners? Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve and place on file. Could Commissioners please vote? And would anyone like to change their vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
9 yea, 0 nay.
9 yeas, 0 nay, motion passes. Moving on to Section 2, Resolutions, Ordinances for Emergency Suspension of the Rules. We do have,
Several.
yeah, we have 4. It looks like, no, 6 of them. Okay. We'll start with Resolution number 2022-45. Clerk, please read. Oh, yes, we need to do suspension of the rules. Thank you for clarifying. Commissioner Shaw.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. Don't feel bad, I make mistakes too, obviously. I move for the suspension of the rules for the purpose of passing Council Resolutions 2022-45, 2022-46, 2022-47, 2022-48, 2022-49, and 2022-50 by waiving subsection 7 of Rule 36 of the Rules and Order of Business of the Council of Commissioners, thereby having it considered for advanced passage without reference to the Judiciary Committee.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for emergency suspension of the rules. Is there anything on the question? Could Commissioners please vote? Would anyone like to change their vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
9 yea, 0 nay.
9 yeas, 0 nay, motion passes. Now moving to resolutions number 2022-45. Clerk, please read the caption.
Resolution number 2022-45, a resolution adopting the final budget of the city and county of Butte-Silver, state of Montana for the fiscal year 2023 and setting levies for the fiscal year 2023 based on the value of a mill of $84,488 city countywide, $69,132 urban services, and $83,856 for suburban services, and declaring that all protests against said budget have been heard and disposed of, declaring that said budget contains a correct statement of the amount to be appropriated for each of the funds of the city and county of Butte-Silver for the fiscal year beginning on the first day of July 2022 and ending on the 30th day of June 2023 as fixed in said budget passed on the 10th day of August 2022 and providing for an effective date herein.
Commissioner Shaw.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. At the time, I move to place Council Resolution 2022-45 on final reading and passed, having been deemed fully read at length.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to place resolution number 2022-45 on final reading. Is there anything on the question? Could commissioners please vote? Would anyone like to change the vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
9 yea, 0 nay.
9 yeas, 0 nay, motion passes. Moving on to resolution number 2022-46. Clerk, please read the caption.
A resolution number 2022-46, resolution fixing the rates and services charges for the fiscal year 2023 against the property from which solid waste is to be collected and removed from each individual dwelling collection unit for the purpose of defraying the costs and expenses of collecting and removing said solid waste, levying and establishing a landfill facility access fee for the fiscal year 2023 against the property from which solid waste is to be disposed of for each individual disposal unit for the purpose of defraying the cost and expenses of maintaining and operating said solid waste disposal facility and establishing a fee schedule and providing for an effective date herein.
Commissioner Shaw.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. I move to place resolution number 2022-46 on final reading and passed, having been deemed fully read at length.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to place resolution number 2022-46 on final reading. Is there anything on the question? Could commissioners please vote? And would anyone like to change the vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
9 yea, 0 nay.
9 yeas, 0 nay, motion passes. Moving on to resolution number 2022-47. Clerk, please read the caption.
Resolution number 2022-47, a resolution fixing and establishing metro sewer rates and service charges for the operation, maintenance, and capital improvements of the metro sewer sanitary and storm sewer system and for the operation, maintenance, and capital improvements of the metro sewer treatment plant by the city county of Butte-Silver, Montana for the fiscal year 2023 and providing for an effective date herein.
Commissioner Shaw.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. At this time, I move to place resolution 2022-47 on final reading and passed, having been deemed fully read at length.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to place resolution number 2022-47 on final reading. Is there anything on the question? Could commissioners please vote? And would anyone like to change the vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
9 yea, 0 nay.
9 yeas, 0 nay, motion passes. Moving on to resolution number 2022-48. Clerk, please read the caption.
Resolution 2022-48, a resolution setting levies for the city, county of Butte-Silver and various special districts for the fiscal year 2023 based on the value of a mill of $84,488 city countywide, $69,132 urban services, and $83,856 for suburban services, and providing for an effective date herein.
Commissioner Shaw.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. This time I move to place resolution number 2022-48 on final reading and passed, having been deemed fully read at length.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to place resolution number 2022-48 on final reading. Is there anything on the question? Could commissioners please vote? Would anyone like to change their vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
9 yea, 0 nay.
9 yeas, 0 nay, motion passes. Moving on to resolution number 2022-49. Clerk, please read the caption.
Resolution number 2022-49, a resolution fixing the tax levy for the Wise River Fire District, State of Montana, at a rate which will raise the amount set out in the final budget as the amount necessary to be raised by tax levy for the fiscal year 2023 and providing for an effective date herein.
Commissioner Shaw.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. This time I move to place resolution number 2022-49 on final reading and pass, having been deemed fully read at length.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to place resolution number 2022-49 on final reading. Is there anything on the question? Could commissioners please vote? And would anyone like to change the vote? Whoops, Commissioner Sorge, sorry. Now, would anyone like to change the vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
9 yea, 0 nay.
9 yeas, 0 nay, motion passes. Moving on to resolution number 2022-50. Clerk, please read the caption.
Resolution number 2022-50, a resolution fixing and establishing Metro storm water utility rates and service charges for the operation, maintenance, and capital improvements of the Metro storm sewer system by the city, county of Butte-Silver, Montana for the fiscal year 2023 and providing for an effective date herein.
Commissioner Shaw.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. This time I move to place resolution 2022-50 on final reading and passed, having been deemed fully read at length.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to place resolution number 2022-50 on final reading. Is there anything on the question? Could commissioners please vote? And would anyone like to change the vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
9 yea, 0 nay.
9 yeas, 0 nay, motion passes. At this time, I would just like to say thank you to the Finance and Budget Department for all the hard work they put into this and being very timely and catching corrections that needed to be done before we place this onto our final reading. Thanks to the commissioners for their thoughtfulness on the budget. I appreciate everybody's effort in this. This is the most important thing that we do in this body is approving the budget and letting our workers do the job that is needed throughout the year. So thank you very much. Commissioner Shaw.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. Michelle Shea was not here, but she wanted to make sure that I gave kudos to Danette Gleason, Karen Hessler, and their team. And she just proud as punch of all of you guys and making this go so smoothly, considering all the other things in this world that are increasing, you know, the inflation, everything, grocery store, you name it, and we were able to keep these things on a neutral basis, no ups, no downs, and also give us a bump in a COLA, which I think was amazing. So thank you very much. And Michelle just wanted me to say that for her, on her behalf.
Thank you, Commissioner Shaw. Commissioner Anderson and then Commissioner Frederickson. I remembered your name, Commissioner Frederickson.
Thank you very much, Chief Executive. I too would like to thank Finance and Budget. There was one item on the very back of that resolution sheet today for professional services and training. I asked Danette last week if she could please include that in the budget. Last week when I was leaving, I was having quite a bit of severe heart pain and everything. And I had an awful lot of CPR training and everything else, and I was kind of sad to see a lot of those around me didn't. They all offered to help me in every way that they could, and I really, really appreciate it. But I thought, especially with our aged community and so many people with heart disease and other ailments, that this training would be a great benefit to the staff here, to myself personally, and to all the members of the community. So thank you so much for getting that in there. And thank you, Mark, Danette, everybody, Chief Executive, Commissioner Reardon, John, thank you all, and everybody for all the help last week, for all the well wishes. I do have an appointment on Monday with the heart doctor in Seattle that I'll be talking to him, and I'll let you all know when the next surgery will be and keep you updated. So thank you all, everybody out there, for all your prayers out in the community and here in the building. I couldn't be happier, and I couldn't ask for a better group of people on my side. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Anderson, and we do wish you well. Commissioner Frederickson.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher. I'll keep mine brief, but I also want to thank the budget staff. I think a lot of communities in Montana are probably raising taxes, and it always makes our job a little easier when our number one complaint around this time is if taxes go up from our constituents, and they're not going up on our end. So I want to appreciate all the hard work you've done.
Thank you, Commissioner Frederickson. With that, I will take a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, signal by aye. Aye. Opposed? This meeting is adjourned. Have a great night.